party's not ending tomorrow, but it is ending.
You're still a betting man.
So apparently, Landman Season 2 decided that one raging oil empire, one barely surviving family, and a couple of bulletproof egos just wasn't enough chaos. Enter Greta Stidham, the admissions counselor from your nightmares, a villain who doesn't need guns to make you sweat. Angela and Ainsley are suddenly the most dangerous targets in Texas. And Tommy? He's somewhere between exasperated and homicidal, trying to hold a family together while the world systematically crumbles around them. If you thought boardrooms, oil fields, and cartel threats were stressful, wait until someone weaponizes a college application. The villain's identity revealed. Every good Sheridan show needs a villain, but Landman Season 2 didn't just hand us one, it gift-wrapped her in menace and dropped her straight into the laps of Angela and Ainsley Norris. Meet Greta Stidham, played by Miriam Silverman, a college admissions counselor who looks harmless enough on paper, but is basically a wolf in Ivy League clothing. Forget boardroom sharks and cartel bosses. Greta's weapon is subtler, scarier, and deeply personal. She doesn't have to swing a gun or bomb an oil rig. She just has to twist the futures of Tommy's wife and daughter, and suddenly, the Norris family is choking on her leash. The brilliance of Greta as a villain isn't in brute force. It's in her access. She's sitting across from Ainsley in an office, smiling politely while plotting to unravel her. She's whispering advice to Angela with that fake "I'm here to help" grin, while really aiming to torture from the inside. She represents the kind of villain you don't see coming until you're already drowning in paperwork, red tape, and manipulation. The bureaucratic assassin, the academic saboteur. Sheridan basically said, you know what's scarier than a cartel? Someone with influence over your kid's future. That's not just terrifying, it's diabolical. And let's not pretend this doesn't raise the stakes higher than an oil rig. With Greta lurking, Ainsley's dreams of college glory are dangling by a thread, and Angela's position as wife, mother, and partner is being squeezed tighter with every move. This isn't just a subplot, it's a pressure cooker waiting to blow. Greta is the kind of villain who doesn't need explosions to create chaos. Her detonations are quieter, messier, and far more personal. If Tommy thought the oil empire was hard to manage, wait until he realizes the real war is being fought in his own household.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning.
The admissions counselor from hell. You thought a cartel boss was scary? Please. Landman just introduced the real nightmare, an admissions counselor. Greta Stidham isn't just helping Ainsley Norris pick dorm colors and SAT prep classes, she's turning the college pipeline into a battlefield. Sheridan basically said, forget drug lords, let's traumatize parents where it hurts most. Tuition and acceptance letters. And he's not wrong. Anyone who's survived the modern admissions grind knows these people have more unchecked power than an oil tycoon with a private militia. Greta isn't dangling guns, she's dangling futures. She can crush a dream with a single recommendation, derail a family with a "sorry, you're not Ivy material," and smile while doing it. It's villainy in pearls, subtle, polished, and dripping with smug authority. She doesn't need to lift a finger to ruin Ainsley's trajectory or push Angela into panic. All she needs is her pen, her influence, and that smug little smirk that says, your kid's future depends on me. Sheridan turned the office cubicle into a war zone, and honestly, it might be the most relatable terror he's ever written. And that's what makes Greta lethal. She's the bureaucratic devil, hiding behind PTA, smiles, and alumni fundraisers. The kind of character who proves you don't have to be carrying a gun to be packing real ammunition. It's the genius of Sheridan's villain wheelhouse. He's given us warlords, outlaws, and cartel kings. But this time, he's weaponized a desk job. Angela and Ainsley aren't just in danger, they're stuck in a slow-moving nightmare, where every college application meeting could feel like a hostage negotiation. Why Angela and Ainsley are in the crosshairs. Of all the people Greta Stidham could have tangled with, she set her sights on Angela and Ainsley Norris, and that's not an accident. These two aren't just Tommy's family, they're his soft underbelly, the Achilles heel of his carefully guarded oil-soaked armor. Tommy can swagger into boardrooms and survive shootouts in the fields, but when it comes to protecting his wife and daughter, that's where he bleeds, and Greta knows it. She's not swinging at the king, she's shoving the queen and princess into the fire, daring him to make a move. Angela's already dealing with the roller coaster of reconciling with Tommy, a man whose idea of romance is probably not dying in a gunfight that day. Now add Greta, a master manipulator ready to undermine her stability at every turn. Ainsley, on the other hand, is the perfect pawn. A young woman with ambition, dreams of college, and just enough vulnerability to be exploited. Greta's power play isn't just about revenge or control, it's about destabilizing the Norris home from the inside, pulling emotional landmines out of Tommy's life and tossing them straight back into his lap. And this is Sheridan at his sharpest, because while the oil fields are drenched in violence and cartel wars, the true chaos is happening in the kitchen and the counselor's office. Angela and Ainsley aren't just in the crosshairs, they are the crosshairs. Greta doesn't need to knock down Tommy directly, she just has to watch him implode when the two people he'd kill to protect start crumbling. That's not just villainy, that's precision warfare. The Norris family under siege. The Norris family thought they were clawing their way out of chaos after Monty Miller's bloody exit. But Sheridan clearly said, not so fast, sunshine. Season 2 wastes zero time shoving Angela, Ainsley, and Tommy back into the meat grinder, and this time the threat isn't just corporate rivals or cartel bullets, it's an all-out assault on their very identity as a family. Every weakness, every fracture, every little secret is suddenly a crack in the armor that villains like Greta are all too eager to hammer open. This isn't a happy home, it's a pressure cooker with the lid rattling. Angela, trying to hold the marriage together, now finds herself dragged into emotional quicksand. Ainsley, the college hopeful, is basically wearing a target on her back. And Tommy, well, he's stuck in the worst possible role, the protector who can't actually protect. Watching the Norris family under siege isn't about whether they'll get hurt, it's about how spectacularly they'll break under the strain. And Sheridan, being the sadistic puppet master he is, knows audiences eat this up. The family drama disguised as war strategy. What makes this siege more terrifying than any cartel shootout is its intimacy. This isn't violence happening out on some oil rig. It's happening in living rooms, kitchens, and quiet conversations that slice deeper than a bullet ever could. The Norris clan isn't facing one villain, they're facing the inevitable collapse of trust, loyalty, and stability under constant attack. And the question is less, will they survive? And more, who's left standing when Sheridan finishes tearing them apart? Fan predictions and theories. The internet's favorite sport, right behind roasting casting choices and pretending we all saw the plot twist coming. Landman Season 2 has already thrown gasoline on the speculation fire, and the predictions are hotter than a West Texas oil field at noon. Some fans swear Greta Stidham isn't just a meddling admissions counselor, she's secretly tied to bigger players, maybe even a front for cartel money or a puppet of corporate rivals. Others are convinced she's going to flat out ruin Ainsley's college dreams, triggering a fatherly meltdown from Tommy so big it makes his corporate battles look like playground scuffles. Then there's the deliciously unhinged theory camp. According to them, Angela's reconciliation with Tommy won't survive the season, and Greta will slither her way into that marital tension like gasoline into a leaky engine. Some fans even think Ainsley herself might flip, corrupted by Greta's influence, turning the bright young future into the family's greatest liability. Sheridan loves a good betrayal, and the fandom is bracing for a knife in the back, they just can't decide whose hand will be holding it. The beauty of these theories is that they all feel plausible because Sheridan has trained us to expect the unexpected. He killed off John Hamm in Season 1 just to prove no one is safe, so now the paranoia levels are sky high. Will Greta just ruin lives with paperwork and manipulation, or will she graduate to full-blown bloodshed? Will the Norris family survive intact, or are we looking at the slow, painful dismantling of Sheridan's latest dysfunctional dynasty? One thing's for sure, fans are already bracing for heartbreak and maybe secretly rooting for it. So what's the takeaway? The Norris family is teetering on the edge, villains are multiplying like rabbits, and Sheridan is clearly having the time of his life, proving that chaos isn't just for oil rigs anymore. It can thrive in a counselor's office too. Fans are theorizing, tempers are rising, and Angela and Ainsley might never look at paperwork the same way again. Landman Season 2 isn't just delivering drama, it's redefining the rules of family warfare, subtle cruelty, and villainous precision. One thing's for certain, by the time the season's over, someone's going to wish they'd never crossed paths with Greta or anyone foolish enough to think they can outsmart the Norris family.